Hi, friend, and welcome to another episode of the Quantum Paradigm Podcast. I am your host, Allison Alchemia, and I am so happy that you are here. Today, we're going to talk about how to scale in 2025 without burning out. This is about quantum manifestation for the win. Now, we're going to tie everything together, but I'm recording this on February 5th, 2025, and I think we've all learned by now, even over the past 2 to 3 weeks, that 2025 is not going to look like anything we've ever seen before in our lifetime. I've been saying that for a very long time, and again, we're just going to continue this journey until 2027 at least, and then this whole transformation process that we're undergoing collectively, we're just on a ride. We're on a wild ride. But I've already talked about that other places. I'm not going to go into that. I am going to talk to you about how you can intentionally scale your business in such a wild time without burning out and without getting so crazy distracted either, right? So if you're new here, my name is Allison Alchemia. I help new paradigm medical professionals grow and scale their businesses by design so they can make a larger impact on the world. Basically, I work with trailblazers in the wellness industry who are scaling and growing their businesses, but they want to do it in a way that is in alignment with both their soul and their bank account, right? And one of the main tools I use with this is not only human design, but something called quantum manifestation. And this is going to help shape how you are taking things that may have worked in the past and are no longer working, right? We are entering what I've been calling the new paradigm. I've been using that term for many years. We have officially arrived. This is what the beginning of the birthing stage looks like for this new paradigm. And it can be a little scary because, again, it's so different than anything that we've experienced before. So I don't get nervous when I record these podcast episodes and go live on Instagram where I record these. I don't get nervous, but today I've been nervous. And that's because I'm going to get a little bit vulnerable with you about what has been going on behind the scenes with my life. And because there have been some unexpected developments while I am growing and scaling my business. So the amazing news is that the business is doing great. I just finished my number crunching to turn in my taxes, and I am so pleased to announce that in less than a year and a half, I have officially crossed the 6-figure per year mark. And I'm celebrating that. And it wasn't just like squeaking by the 6-figure mark either. Like, it is well across the 6-figure line. And I'm just really proud of myself. I'm happy. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of my boys and my family for championing me and believing in me when I'm setting up a business model unlike anything I've ever seen before. And that's something I want to highlight too, that I help my clients with, is that these trailblazers in the wellness industry, the clients that I serve, they don't necessarily have an example of the template. Like, there's no template that they can follow. There's no example that's gone before them that what they're doing, it has existed before, and they're out there trailblazing and they're doing a damn good job. And they are finding that the ways that we've been taught to grow and scale and market and sell from the what I call the old paradigm, it's not in alignment and doesn't really work that well. According to what they're doing, because two things, I see two things happening. Either it works really well and they've got the money in the bank and they've got the patients or the clients coming through the door, but their soul is so tired, or their soul is in alignment, but then the other stuff, the money or whatever, is not necessarily following suit. So I help bridge that gap for them. So anyway, enough about that. Today we're going to talk about your business, what you can do to grow and scale. But before we do that, I do want to share a little bit of what has been going on behind the scenes, because even though I am celebrating big time the wins in my business and my client wins that have been steady and growing and just amazing, I've had some unexpected family issues, and just in the past month even have had a cascade of events completely outside of my control let's see, pretty much now, yes, I had to count. I have a very small, very close inner circle of about 3 to 4 human beings. And these people know every single thing about me, every single thing, all the shadows, all the secrets. They know everything about me, and I know everything about them. That we just, we are the ride or dies, right? Each and every one of them have gone through completely life-altering and extraordinarily tragic events just in the last 4 weeks. And I'm the person that they call, right? Because we are each other's people. And they've each individually called me. And the three people that I'm thinking of at the top of my head that have been going through these things, they don't even know each other. They are my 2 best friends and a family member that I dearly love more than anything. And they each 3 have been calling on me and legitimately needing support during tragic griefs, shocking deaths. I mean, just really, really tough stuff, right? And then on top of that, one of my children has been going through something extraordinarily difficult to watch and witness, and has brought special needs into kind of a disabling reality where I have been on and in mom mode 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, alone, because I am a single parent. I don't have a live-in partner. I don't have a partner or boyfriend at this recording. I shouldn't have said that out loud because everybody likes to think that whatever you guys want to think about my romantic life, keep on thinking it. Anyways, having the person who depends on me for his life and his livelihood go through something so difficult as what my son has been going through. Needless to say, the past month has been one of the most intense months of my life. And it's just been wild. I feel like I have been on this roller coaster of fate where absolutely nothing that I have just listed has been in my control at all, at least in my conscious awareness control, right? I cannot control that my best friend, my ride or die, like my soul sister, the one who we would never let another human being read our text messages to each other. I could never expect that she would lose her father unexpectedly and in a really tragic, horrific way, right? I can't predict that, but I'm the one that she needs to be there for her. I can't predict that my son is going to go through what he's been going through, and I'm the one that he needs, or that my sister is going through what she's going. Like, do you see what I'm saying? And then a one-on-one client was in a life-threatening situation. None of these situations are inside of my conscious awareness control. But do you know what is inside of my conscious awareness control? And this is where it intersects. I told you guys we were going to intersect to how you can grow and scale your business, even in the midst of incredibly volatile times where you don't have control over what's happening out there. We could even go macro on this and say, the changing of the tide of power, right, in the United States of America right now. Like you guys don't have conscious awareness control over all of that, but you do actually have all of the power that you need in the world to create a massively successful business that is in alignment with your soul and with your bank account. Okay, and here's how. We only have one talking point for today, only one thing that I need you to really grasp on and own for yourself, and that is radical prioritization. Radical prioritization, okay? Take it from a single mom of 3 young men who, like I said, like my whole support team, I do have a support team inside my business who have been amazing for me this past month. But outside of that, my support team that I rely on the day-to-day, each and every one of them have been crumbling under just heartbreaking circumstances. They can't be there for me. Not right now. I mean, they want to be, but you know how it is. You had days like this where you just can't be there for the one that you love because you've got your own stuff. You got to tend to yourself first. Each and every one of my support systems has been going through that, right? And then I've had my own stuff that's been going on. So how How do I do that? How do I do that? And then look back over the past year and say, holy shit, I met my goal of 6 figures in 18 months. I think it's been 18 months. Yeah, in 18 months of a brand new business, crossed the 6-figure line, and then in the month of January alone had 45K worth of sales, $45,000 of sales, okay? With everything going on that I just mentioned. How have I done that? I've done it with radical prioritization. Okay, I even wrote my priorities out and I'm going to share them with you guys. I told you I don't get nervous when I record these podcast episodes for you or when I go live, but I am like opening up the closet and like the walk-in closet and be like, here's the behind the scenes of Allison's life. And so it's a little nerve-wracking, but I'm just going to list this out for you guys because, and the reason I'm doing this also is because there's going to be a few changes that you're going to notice. My audience is noticing that I haven't been quite as present as I normally am. And that may or may not shift in the immediate future. And so there's multiple reasons that I'm sharing these radical priorities with you. Okay. So my number one priority every single day is my health. That's number one. If you don't know my full story, you'll learn eventually that, well, I guess I'm telling you right now, but I was bedridden for 7 years and I couldn't function. And I was just in horrible health. I was told by 4 different practitioners, independent of each other, that I was headed to a life in a wheelchair and headed towards full-blown autoimmune disease, right? That was in 2018 that I was told that. Haha, look at me now, suckers, right? That's not the case, but that took a Herculean effort of radical prioritization. So number one at the top of my list, even before my children, my priority is my health. Number 2, my priority is, of course, my children and their well-being and their happiness, right? All around. I am, for my health first, theirs second. Number 3, my third priority in my life after those 2 are taken care of is my clients' satisfaction and success. That is my third, my top 3, my health, my kids, my clients. Those are the basics. If everything around me is crumbling, that is what I am focusing my intentions and my energy with. Number 4, my team's satisfaction, my team's happiness. I love that I can boast a happy team. I want to give a shout out to my social media manager this morning. She and I were having a conversation. We were actually talking about this live and talking about some stories that I'm going to be sharing because I'm very upfront with you guys and I share a lot with you, but I'm also a deeply private person because there are only a few that I keep for myself. And one of those does happen to be, being sensitive around what my kids are going through, and not sharing things, that are going to negatively impact them in any way. Right. So I'm like, dude, talking to my social media manager, I'm like, I want to be more authentic with my audience. And yet the conflict is I don't want to overshare anything about what my kiddo is going through right now, right? Out of respect to him, not just as the 11-year-old that he is today, but for the 33-year-old he's going to be like tomorrow in the blink of an eye. So anyways, that's a shout out for one of my team members. I have now 5 team members other than myself, and we are all, I think one of them is here on the live, we are all going to be powwowing in ways that I can't even, I'm so fucking excited about 2025 and for my business. But anyway, back to you. So those are my 4 top priorities. Number 5, my close friend group, the ones that I just mentioned, right? My ride or dies. That's number 5. Number 6, my audience members, you guys, I love y'all. I wake up in the morning thinking about you pretty much every day. I think about my kids, my clients, my audience, like in that order. And my team is always you guys are always in my aura, always. I'm a Leo rising. This is just how we roll. So that's number 6. Number 7, my network. Number 8, my extended family. Number 9, acquaintances. Okay. So just another little layer peeled back, right? I go to the same coffee shop every morning. I love it. It's a vortex for me. I love my community. I connect with my community there. And I go to have just a little bit of solitude, 15, 20 minutes, sip my espresso, get my little ADD brain online, and it's a ritual for me. But lately, I've been attracting a fuck ton of attention, and it's great attention. But but everybody wants to sit down and talk with me, and that's not a bad problem to have. But I'm like, it's not that I don't want to talk to people, because I love people and I actually see people in a way that they're not used to being seen. I'm getting emotional because I remember what it was like to be seen for the first time. And it's a powerful fucking moment, okay? So when I talk about acquaintances at the coffee shop, I'm saying this with like the deepest love in my heart. But that's a ritual that I have done for me. And when I have an abundance and I'm overflowing and the other 8 priorities that I just listed are taken care of, then I have plenty of overflow for acquaintances and chit-chatting and shooting the shit and all the things. And like, I love it, right? It ties me into my community. But dude, over the past few weeks, I have not had it. I've not had that extra overflowing energy. Now, the top 4, I'd say the top 4 of my priorities, people, have been taken care of and been very, very well taken care of, I might add. But the acquaintances, not so much. So what's my point? I was speaking to a friend who I know through the coffee shop, and she was like, Allison, are you okay? Because I saw you chatting with such and such is an acquaintance, a new acquaintance of mine. And she's like, you seemed very guarded. And I was like, oh yeah, I was very guarded. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I was just guarding my energy. I don't have any extra energy to give to that person. So I didn't give any to that person. You know, I'll sit there and chit chat, but I'm not going to share any ounce of my life with that person. So I'm sharing all of this with you to say 2025 is volatile so far at 5 weeks into the game. There are, astrologically speaking, there is no evidence that this is going to let up anytime soon. February has some really cool, interesting things going on with it. But overall, when we look at the whole calendar year, it's like, I hope you buckled up 2 seatbelts because you might need them. And because of that, you need to know how to absolutely prioritize, especially if you are a leader, especially if you are a healer, especially if you are a trailblazing wellness entrepreneur. You better have your priorities straight, and you better fucking adhere to them moment by moment. If you are leaking any energy anywhere, and if you are leaking any money anywhere, 2025 is gonna pretty much punch you in the face about it. And I'm sorry that sounds so violent, but I've never been one to sugarcoat with you. I'm not about to start now. I don't feel like I'm doing you any favors if I do, right? So let me repeat that. If you are leaking any energy, any time, anywhere, if you are leaking any money anywhere, it is time to clean that up right now. So what I want you to do today is to make a list like I did. What are your priorities? And then take a look at your time, your calendar, and take a look at your wallet, your bank account, and see if it's lining up with those areas. And if it's not, like, pull the carpet, cancel. I literally just a few hours ago got in and I took away a whole area of my calendar that is for new connection calls and like virtual coffee. And these are great to foster networks. And like, I've gotten tons of referrals through this, and it's a fine strategy. However, I don't have the energy for it right now because these other priorities have been just necessary to pay attention to, right? And this is how you scale. And the coolest part is that the universe, when you do this, when you take these radical actions with radical prioritization, it's actually a form of manifestation because you are taking aligned action and sending signals to the universe that you are not available. You are not available for anything that is not bringing direct value in the way that you deserve and you desire, When you're growing a business, when you're scaling a business, that's going to look like, who is the aligned contractor, the perfect contractor to help me with my 3D building, right? I know multiple wellness experts and entrepreneurs in the area who are scaling their 3D businesses and their bricks and mortars. You better get the best, most honest, most communicative, most humble GC that you can find. Do you know how to do that? Even if you don't have to know anything about the construction business. I happen to know because I scaled my ex-husband's construction business to $250,000 before I left the toxic situation, right? That's a whole other podcast episode. However, you don't have to know anything about the construction industry, but what you do have to know is how to manifest in alignment with you, with the purest and highest and best version of you that is doing this, that is cultivating this dream and expanding this vision, right? So that's why I'm saying quantum manifestation for the win. And on that note, I have to say, I can't believe I didn't say this at the beginning. I was so nervous about sharing more about the insides of behind the scenes of what's been going on, that I forgot to mention that we are doing an entire quantum manifestation experience in Costa Rica in the first week of June. If you want any information about this, DM me, and either I or one of my team members will get all the information you need to this. This is going to be 5 days and nights in the jungle and also in close proximity to the beach. I have traveled the entire world many times over. There is something so special and unique and magical and healing about the jungle of Costa Rica in particular. That's why I'm hosting it there. And this is like a luxury experience, but it's also a very potent, intentional experience with quantum manifestation to get your physical body there. Remember the priorities that I listed for you guys? What was at the very top of mine? What is my number one priority? My health. Because my health was taken away from me for so long in my life. I know exactly how important it is. Even my health is even before my kids in my priority list. And you guys know what a mother would do for her children. Like, we would give our whole lives for them without even thinking, right? So knowing that your health is the number one, that needs to be number one on your list. You need to get your body in a place where it is being held and witnessed, and where you are being held and witnessed in your big energy dreams, because I know the people in my audience have these big ass dreams. You guys wouldn't even be here. And you may or may not have had an example of how to do what you're doing. You may be the first person in your family of origin to do what you're doing. The first ever, like in multiple generations. Those tend to be the people that I attract. You may be a healer or a wellness expert that is the only one doing what you do in your industry. I also tend to attract those types of people. It's like, yeah, there's chiropractors, but then there are chiropractors who only do this one technique, and there's only 60 in the whole country. She happens to be a good friend of mine and my chiropractor, right? Like, if that is the kind of person that you are, where there's no example that your brain has to pattern after, but you are called with this mission to help other people that's in alignment with your soul and your bank account, your health better be at the top of your priority list. And then whatever comes after that, that's up to you, right? That's up to you. But retreating into a place that is outside your environment, outside what I call your little fishbowl of existence, right? We all have it. My little coffee shop ritual, that's my fishbowl experience. Getting yourself out of that, extracting yourself, planting yourself in one of the most pristine and pure and high vibrating, high frequency areas in the entire world with quantum magicians, right? I'm pointing to myself on camera if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. That is what you call a 10x quantum manifestation experience. And that is what this retreat is about. So spots are limited. If you are feeling the call to do this, I encourage you to DM me on Instagram. It's at Alchemy with Allison if you're listening after this is released. DM me and we will get you all of the information, or you can go to allisonalchemia.com/retreat. Okay. This is a luxury experience. They are not luxury prices, but they are luxury experiences. Like, you touch down in San Jose in the capital airport, and then the private jet from the campus comes and collects you, okay, and brings you to me. And then you get there and we hug and we have an amazing time. But this is what new paradigm leadership is going to look like in the future. And so 2025 is that turbulent year and that turbulent experience of oh my God, what's happening? And as I shared earlier, everyone in my realm, in my close realm, everyone's lives were like shockingly affected by tragic deaths and tragic unforeseen experiences. Like, I can't control that. But I can control my leadership. I can control my frequency, my integrity, right? And getting the body online. This is what distinguishes what I call quantum manifestation from what we may think of as like regular manifestation, which is like all the mantras and the sitting on the yoga mat and doing the ohms, or I don't know what people think manifestation is, but apparently there's this this thought that if you just sit on the beach and think hard enough, then you're going to manifest what you want. It doesn't quite work that way. But getting the body, the mind, the heart, the soul in line. Oh, this is what I was going to say too. I forgot. A plumb line, using a plumb line. This is super cool. You guys should Google, how the ancient Egyptians used plumb lines to maintain and monitor the integrity of their buildings, right? So if you are wanting to scale your business during times when everything outside could be as volatile as can be, you better have a straight plumb line that you can rest your head at night and know that you've had your back, you've had your own back. That does come from saying no to a lot of things. As I shared, I'm saying no to a lot of things. It's my health, my children, my clients, and my team. But that's it right now in this season of life, because everything is just so wild at the moment. When things settle down, when there's more capacity, then there's more capacity. Yeah. So how much do you have your back? Ask yourself, what are your radical priorities? Ask yourself. Okay. Get really, really real with yourself and just know, as long as you've got that and you are crystal clear, then anything can come at you. Anything. Literally anything. I mean, I'm not going to go into detail on the podcast, but witnessing what my son has been going through is just like one of those things that I would never wish on any mother anywhere. But knowing, and then getting up the next day and having a business meeting with my team, right? Knowing that I have my back in such a radical way where anything can come, I'm absolutely not only unshakable, but fucking unstoppable. And you can be too, as long as you have that plumb line, you've got your priorities, and you've got those blinders on. You're not getting distracted by all the things in the news cycle, right? You keep your head down. You've got this. If you are a new paradigm leader and you are interested in hearing more about how to work with me, send me a DM on Instagram. It's @alchemy_with_Allison. I love you guys so much. I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm going to stop it there. And again, if you are interested in the quantum manifestation experience in the jungle of Costa Rica, reach out to me on Instagram @alchemy_with_Allison, ALLISON. It's been wonderful with you here. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.